and they can get all the answers. The two biggest questions I have been getting are, how do I give credit to a girl for cookies she sold after initial order? And how do I give girls credit for booth sales? I think the booth sales one is way easier. So I'm going to go over that first. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Oh, how do I do this? There it is. I got permission from Troop 20085 to use their account as an example, because mine just doesn't look the same. My eBuddy has a whole bunch more things, so it just doesn't look the same as a troop leader side. So this is what roughly your eBuddy should look like when you log in. If you have more than one troop, it'll be over here under troops. Or if you are somebody who has a higher level access, like a service unit leader, your service unit will be listed as first, and then your troops are listed underneath of it. If you need some more space on your screen to be able to see everything in the next couple steps better, this little arrow will hide all of that, so you have more space to see everything. And you'll see why that might matter. We'll go over here to booth sites to record a booth. And you have to have entered a booth into eBuddy or selected a council booth to be able to use this. Right here, it says council sales. We'll go to record sales. And then here are your booth locations, either upcoming or past. You can click on it, and across this line, you have all of these options for your cookie varieties. You enter how many packages of each one you sold. Probably more Thin Mints. And then you select which girls you're giving credit to. You as a troop leader get to decide if every single girl gets credit for a booth sale, whether or not she was there, or if only the girls who were at the booth get the credit for the booth sale. That is a troop decision. Just keep it consistent for your troop. If only certain girls are getting credit for these cookies, you can deselect all and then just pick the girls who were at the booth to get that credit. And then over here, we click distribute, and you'll see the other girls lose all of the zeros, and these girls get how many packages they're each being assigned to. It will not split packages in half to spread it out exactly equally. That's why we see 7, 7, and 6. It keeps whole packages. So one girl gets shorted, and that's unfortunate. But if you really, really, really want to make sure everything's perfectly even, you can take it down less cookies just to make it a divisible number, and then track those cookies, and at the end of the season, split them out. So each girl gets 1 more box or 2 more boxes, however it adds up. It's just an unfortunate kind of thing in the system that it won't split a box of cookies in half or in thirds or anything. Once you've done this, you're not quite done. You still have to click submit up here, submit sale. I recommend checking your work because once you submit it, it's kind of hard to get it back, but we can if we need to. This is a really handy way of splitting up the sales like this. It is even, it's quick. You can record your entire sale, and then it does the math for you. I'm not entirely sure if you can see under my Zoom bar over there. It does the math for you of how much money you would have picked up. So if I change that to add 6 toffees, it adds up the math, and that should be how much you brought in for the booth. If you have less than that or more than that, maybe double check your math somewhere. And that'll include anything you swiped in hand or the CheddarUp swipes if you're using CheddarUp Cheddar Up and eBuddy do not have any kind of connection whatsoever. Your Cheddar Up might as well be a handwritten check. eBuddy doesn't know about it and will never know about it. Those are two systems that will never talk to each other. So that is booths. Do we have
actually, can I ask a quick question, Abigail?
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say.
So actually, I'm learning along with you guys too. So when people are putting the numbers across the top, what if they didn't really keep track during the sale and things were flying fast and going out fast? Can they just put 20 in Adventurefuls, or does that mess up their whole inventory?
It only really matters if it's a $5 cookie or a $6 cookie.
Okay.
So if you were just keeping track that way and you have 150 adventure or Thin Mints listed and 0 of everything else, it'll do the same math.
Okay. So it doesn't matter so much, really. It's just about the money and the distribution.
Yeah. The $5 versus $6 cookie is the important part.
Okay.
I see a couple bubbles on the chat. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was listening. I wasn't paying attention. Let me go.
Nope, that's okay. It doesn't look like there's any questions in there right now.
Oh, that was Rachel. Yeah.
Have any questions about booth sales this way? Okay, I don't see any hands coming up. So I'm going to go over to girl orders. This part, oh, okay. Tani, what's that?
Hey, quick question. So at the end of the day, $5 cookie versus $6 cookie is important to Girl Scouts as a whole. But for those of us at the troop level that are trying to monitor inventory and get the right count attributed to the right scout for prizes and things, it is important which type of cookie went out the door.
Yes, it absolutely is. This is a great way to be tracking that. eBuddy just doesn't care as much. So for you to be tracking that is great. If you don't, eBuddy doesn't really mess up. Does that make sense?
Sounds like some people keep track of their inventory on here and some people don't. So Tani, it sounds like you guys do. So you would want to be really careful about how you enter them in.
Well, yeah, because we want to give the right girls the right numbers. And then since the year are limited, we want to make sure that what we're recording is donations versus not, versus somebody took home and, you know, who gets a stuffed koala and who doesn't get a stuffed koala. You know, it's important to the girls. It does all kind of total up at the end, but the details matter at the troop level, especially with a limited inventory on stock.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't mention the troop gift of carrying and the ARCA over here. If you are taking donations at a booth and they're going to go to the American Red Cross Alaska via a council donation, they would go in that spot here. And those are cookies that your troop does not need to account for. The troop gift of carrying is here, and those would be cookies that your troop does need to account for. So at the end of the season, we get a whole list of how many American Red Cross Alaska cookies we need to donate, and we pull them from what's left in the cupboard, and we call the baker and say, these are how many cookies we need to donate. When are you going to get them to us? And this season, it sounds like they're coming in July, and that'll be okay. But the troop gift of carrying cookies, eBuddy is thinking of you as taking those out of your cases that you have in the back of your car, in your garage, or wherever you're storing your cookies, and actually taking them to a location like tomorrow. So those ARCA cookies do not come straight out of your cookie stock. The troop gift of carrying cookies do. There have been a lot of questions about how donated cookies work this year.